Hey guys, so it's me, Tomeka James. I'm back. I want to go live tonight to speak about the topic, don't take a back seat. So this topic is coming from this weekend at Jam Session. We had a really good time. Everything was nice. Everything was, in order. Everyone was doing their thing. People were being educated. People were connecting, a lot of great things. But tonight I want to talk about an experience that I had at Jam Session with a young lady who attended the round table. So, of course, I'm not saying any names. And, when I speak about things, guys, sometimes it becomes a little difficult because I don't want to put anyone out there. But my experiences are experience so that I can share these things with the world to help to change someone else's life. So I want to talk about this thing about don't take a back seat because I was doing the round table, which you guys know I've been doing this in many different states, and I've really been enjoying it because I get a chance to meet so many professionals and for us to sit down and share information. Hi, Nancy. So at the round table, it gets started. People are walking in, and I notice, and I've always noticed this, some people walk in and go straight to the back. Straight to the back. So I'm trying to understand, how is it that you know that you're attending a class and you go straight to the back and you stay there? So I started to ask people, so tell me, why did you guys that went to the back, why did you go to the back? So people said a couple of different things. There's only a few people who admitted to it. But one girl said, I don't want to be seen. So y'all know me. Immediately I said, so you're in the beauty industry and you're saying that you don't want to be seen. We're at a round table, so this is like the perfect arena for me to say, in this industry, if you want to build your business, if you want people to know who you are and what you do, you have to be seen. You have to want to be seen. Kim, stop it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, hi Sean. You have to want to be seen. So if you're already saying to yourself that you're going to the back, you don't want to be seen, that's a problem in this industry. So immediately I speak up on it. I'm like, that's a problem. So we go on with the round table, and after it's over, the young lady came up to me, and I'm telling this story. Like I said, I'm not saying who it is or anything. I just feel compelled to share this story. So she says to me, the reason why I said I don't want to be seen is because I actually have like a skin condition, and I really just don't want people looking at me. So all the while I'm understanding exactly what she's saying. I totally get it. I get it. I understand. But when I'm looking at her, y'all, she was the cutest thing ever. I told her on the spot, I said, you are beautiful. You are so cute. Like what you're saying to me right now, I would not have seen. But this is how you feel, and I do understand that. But all at the same time, I said, this right here that you're dealing with is getting in your way. This thing is getting in your way of your own success because of how you feel about yourself. You went to the back. So now you're going to sit at the back of the class. You're in the beauty industry. You're going to keep quiet so that no one looks at you. You're not going to really build yourself to to the proper potential that you actually have. This is a problem. And the thing is, there are so many people that have that situation that she had going on that put themselves in a backseat position, not moving forward because of a thing that you're dealing with. And now you're trying and wanting to build your business, but you are stuck. And then you don't really understand why. Nobody can tell you you're stuck because you haven't revealed this to anyone. So I thank her, number one, for coming up to me and telling me this. So this is the kind of stuff that I know is another sign as to why I need to do the Who Am I conference. So I'm going to share with you. She is not just getting it in for herself, but trying to, thank you so much. I'm going to share with you that I know that there has been a place for this conference, and I know that there's a reason why I have to do it. And these are some of the reasons. So I'm going to tell a little bit more about this story as quick as I can. So the young lady and I have this conversation, and then we move on to another part of the conversation, which is she says to me, well, I'm starting a makeup line, and I really want to do a makeup line because of my skin condition. And her makeup looked flawless. It was beautiful. So I'm like, oh, okay, I think that's great. So then she says, because I don't want anyone else to feel like I feel. So what I had to say to her was, that is beautiful, and I understand it, and that is the reason why you're going to need to do your makeup line so that you can help someone else. I said, but the only issue is you're helping someone else. You're wanting to help someone else with a situation that you haven't dealt with yet. You're still standing here telling me that you're going to the back of the room because you don't want to be seen, but you want to help other people. So I was able to say to her, what she's going to have to do is begin to tell her story. She's going to have to begin to tell people what she has gone through and help them to understand that she needs to make sure no one else deals with that because she's dealt with it for long enough. And enough is enough. And the thing is, until we get over and through some of the things that have been holding us back, you can't have success until you get over that, because every time you get to that point where you're supposed to jump over a hurdle and move a little bit forward, your own things get right. They jump right in your face without you even noticing, and then you block yourself. So my problem with the situation she was dealing with is, what if she also had a problem with being able to, see words on a screen or being able to hear certain things? Now she's at the back and she can't really hear, she can't really see, and now she's blocking her own blessings because she doesn't want anybody to look at her, when all at the same time, which is most of our issues, nobody even knows and nobody's even paying attention, and you're really the only one that is actually walking around dealing with it. You're the only one. So I know that the conference has to happen. And I know that a lot of people are dealing with a lot of things that really, really get in their way. And I'm really excited also about the book, because the book helps you to identify what it is that's going on with you for you to, and then there's a part where you have to figure out how you're going to get past these things, because 9 times out of 10, we all have our own answers. We really just didn't sit down and dig deep enough to actually get over and through these hurdles. So, like I said, guys, don't take a back seat. I mean, if you want to learn, you want to come in, you want to get up close, you want to be up front, you want to be able to get everything that the Lord has available to you. You want to be able to move past a lot of things that have been holding you back throughout your life. And until you do that, you're in the same boat. You're going to keep acting the same way you act. And some people, unfortunately, act a certain way according to things that have happened to them in the past, things they have had to deal with, things that people said to them, people telling them they're not enough, and people saying, telling people, about their body image. And, and the funny thing is, someone said that to you, and now you don't want to be seen. But then you got people who love your body image. And then even when they say they love it, you can't even accept that because you're so stuck in the past. But all at the same time, guys, let me say this too. If something that someone said to you that bothered you, really bothered you, you have to determine, are you going to do something about it, or are you going to accept that thing that you're dealing with and move on? You got a choice, because let's just say I'm going to go back to body image. If they say, oh, you're too big or this, that, and the other, you got a choice of losing weight. You got a choice of committing to making a change so that you don't deal with that anymore. Or you got a choice of accepting exactly who you are and where you are to move forward. And right, Kim, the book, like I said, I wrote the book for stylists, but I just kept realizing over and over that these things that I wrote in here have everything to do with the entire world. So tonight, like I said, when we did the book signing, we had my daughter who's in college, who's the only thing that she wants to do in regards to starting a business is to start a practice when she gets out of school. But she was able to use it for her life right now as a college student, as a person thinking about her future and what she wanted to do. And guys, what we all got to understand is, it's unfortunate that the obstacles that we have and the things that people have said to us and done to us are the things that continue to get in our way. But until you stop and acknowledge exactly who you are and what's going on in your life, until you acknowledge it, you can't change anything that you don't acknowledge. If you know you want to lose weight and you can't sit there and acknowledge that you are sitting here, you keep eating stuff that you should not be eating. If you haven't acknowledged that, you're not going to be able to change because you haven't acknowledged the mess that you're continuing to do. Yes, this has definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things going on in my everyday. Oh, that's my sister, Crystal. She was here tonight, and she is one person that, clearly stated she doesn't desire to have a business, but she was able to this evening open up and just look at her life and look at some things that she wanted to work on. So if there are just a few things that you know that are hindering you from getting to another point, these are some things you got to deal with. So tonight, guys, I can share without saying who said what and everything. Several people wrote down that they want home ownership. And, the question is, if this is what you want, what are you going to do about it? And when are you going to start working on it? Because home ownership is not an overnight situation. So tonight I was able to share that one of the obstacles or things, one of the things that you have to know about getting a home is all the ins and outs, like not one thing, but all the ins and outs in regards to what it takes to successfully be able to get a loan and to know what you need to put in place before you actually start getting a house. And one thing I was able to share with the group was that when I bought a home, I was able to work with my real estate agent. So one thing that in the book you have to identify is who are you going to get to assist you with the thing that you need to do. So if you haven't thought about what you really want and how you're going to get there, who's going to help you, what you actually need, and how long it's going to take and all this other stuff, it's just a thing that's rolling around in your head and you're going on about your day and you really haven't made any moves. But by the time you get to the end of this book, it's telling you and asking you the question, when do you really want to actually make some moves on this stuff? Because a lot of things that we need and want, it's not overnight. And this is the reason why about a week ago, guys, I did a live and I told you guys, I'm not an overnight success. No matter what success you see me having today, it was all a process. And I had to meet people. I had to learn things. I had to utilize different resources. I had to research information. I had to determine by when do I want this. Now, I can share another thing. When I was ready to buy my home, and we didn't go deep tonight about the home ownership thing. We just went on the surface. But there were a lot of things that I had to focus on and change. So I'm going to share this with y'all in case this resonates with anyone right now. I knew that I found out there was a certain amount that I needed for a down payment. And I didn't have all of that cash in hand. So I had to make a plan for myself. So I realized that I wasn't watching TV as much as I thought I was. But because, I'm a stylist and I'm able to pay for this, that, and the other, we just be doing crazy stuff. I bought every channel. So if you came to my house, you could watch any channel that your heart desired. Because I had every channel. But then I had to take a long look at where I was going and what I was doing that wasn't really in line with what I needed to do. It's on Amazon, or you can go to my digital download store, teachmeweave.com, and click on downloads. Or you can go to Amazon and get the paperback, or you can go to Amazon and get the download. So, and the book is called You Got More in You, Where Is It? Now, let me tell y'all about this home ownership thing. I had every channel. So I said to myself, I had to look on paper. I had to write down where I was putting my money. And then I had to realize and say to myself, what can I eliminate to get me to this goal? So please don't think those of you who saw me buy a home, it was beautiful. It was, because I had to sell it. That's another story. But just understand that it didn't happen overnight. So what I did was I called cable and I said, I'm taking half of these channels off. That's right. Sacrifice. I'm taking half of these channels off because I'm barely home. I just need to watch the ones I really want to watch, and I'm not doing this. So I cut my cable bill in half, y'all. So if you think about a cable bill that's like $200 a month, I cut that in half. So my plan was a whole year plan, okay? So looking at $100 a month that I cut off of my cable bill times 12 months is $1,200. That gets me $1,200 closer to buying my home, okay? The other thing I had to do was had to sit down and I had to say to myself, how much money do I need and how I'm going to get there? Okay, we got $1,200 that's going to be banked because what I did was what I was put into cable, I put in the bank. Then I had to say to myself, okay, I eliminated that, but what else can I eliminate? I started taking my own lunch. I said I spend $100 a week on lunch. I can't do that at this point in time. It's not working for my life. I need to cut that in half, and I need to take lunch most of the other days. I need to cook more so that I can take the rest for lunch, okay? So I can't do the foolishness that I'm doing right now, all right? Sacrifice, like making a plan and seeing that house. All I knew was that I wanted that house. And this is all I'm saying when it comes down to this book. You now have to sit down and say to yourself, what is it that I really, really want that I need to get? And how am I going to get there? So it had to go on paper because now $20,000 I need for a down payment. I need to see how I'm going to get to $20,000. So now I got to look at what do I have because I had some money. What is it that I need? How am I going to get there? So on paper, I'm going backwards, y'all. So I got $1,200 off. I got some money off from the lunch. I'm not buying a coffee every morning. Can't do it. Got to make coffee at home. It's just got to happen. So what else did I do? I did a bunch of other things, guys. But the other thing was truly understanding what else it took. So I remember my real estate agent telling me, okay, you got to take a look at your credit. You need to see what's on your credit that you have to remove so that you can be able to get the money and XYZ. So there were a whole bunch of things. But the point is, guys, until you commit yourself to the thing that you want, whatever that thing is, until you sit down and you begin to find out who can help you and begin to do the research and begin to move forward, you're still in one position. And all I could see was that house. That house was right there. And when it was time, everything was in place. So guys, what is it that you want? And what is it that's holding you back that you have to get rid of in your head, that you got to move past so that you can have what you want? Because sometimes you are the person that's in your own way. So identify what that is and identify all the obstacles that you have. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing that this book does. It has you to identify your obstacles, and then you must sit down and you must slowly think about how you can get around each one of those obstacles. Because see, what happens with the human mind is we have an obstacle and all we do is complain about it. Oh, whatever. And you keep going. But the thing is, you got to deal with it. And see, I spoke to y'all the other day when I was on live about counseling. And, you know, I went through it for so many years, so I understand the work that they did with me. And the thing is, you got to go back and you got to identify the issues, whatever the issues are, small or large. And then you have to work through how those issues affected you and how they're affecting you now and how you do not want these obstacles for another moment to affect you. Now, this is how you can get through stuff on your own. But these are some of the things that we're going to be doing when I do the conference, because I clearly understand that identification of these things and thinking about and understanding your own life and how you're going to move past them is the only way. And as an individual, all of you have different things going on. So I'm not saying that I have all the magic or nothing. I'm saying that you have the answers. I'm saying that either this book or this conference is going to help to pull them out and have you to organize your method of moving forward. That's it, guys. That's it. But I was so disturbed by the thing with the young lady who sat in the back. And that's what she said. But let me tell y'all what was beautiful. By the time I finished speaking to her, she did tell me that she was ready and willing to begin to tell her story about her skin issue. She's going to do a makeup line, and that she is going to commit herself to helping other people. And she told me, because I asked her, I said, my question is, are you ready to move past this? Because I'm looking at you right here with my own eyes, and the beauty I'm seeing and what's coming out your mouth is two different things. And I understand you have a skin condition, but you're the only one that's seeing it, because I'm not really seeing that. And maybe, of course, she had makeup on and that was able to help the situation. I get all of that. So what I'm saying is, until she was ready to accept that and move forward, it's nothing going to change. But she told me in the moment, y'all, she said, I'm ready. She said, you know what? I am ready. And I don't know. And sometimes, you know what? You know, we think that it's going to take somebody having you laid out on the floor and doing all of this other stuff, and you think it's going to take that much. No. Identifying and realizing what it's doing to you. If something is an impediment to you, if it's getting in your way that much, you got to let that go. You can't keep going through that. You got to walk away from some stuff. You got to move away from something. This is the only way. So I was proud of the young lady, and I believe her that she is ready to move forward. She is. And sometimes that's all it takes, is someone just getting you right there in that moment, letting you know that this is over. She is harder on herself. I'm like that too, but you're definitely telling her correctly. Yeah. And I was, I was nicey with it. I was gentle, at the same time, just going straight at it, because some things we don't need to be the person to pacify another person with. We just need to go straight at it, because it's no other way. I would never do anything to harm anyone, say anything to make you feel like you want to go into a hole or anything. Only thing I'm going to say to you is the true things that you need to hear to move you out of that position. That's all I will do, So that's it, guys. So that's pretty much all for tonight. Please, if you are that person, get out of your own way so that you can move forward, because you can have as much as you want, as long as you prove that you're ready for it, and as long as you just accept what has been in your life as a thing that was here that you're not willing to deal with anymore. That's all you need. And then you could keep going. Because I tell y'all, at a point in my life when I really wanted to lose weight, because I just had my son. And that was my last child. Mentally, I had to look at some foods that I was eating, and I had to mentally prepare myself to be disgusted with some things that I was eating. And when I basically did that for myself, it was no way I could eat certain things anymore, because I was like, that is adding more pounds on to me when I'm trying to go the other way. And I committed myself to not eating after a certain hour. I committed myself to exercising and doing all of the little pieces of the things that were going to get me there. And I had to say to myself, this is my life. This is my body. Nobody could change it. So that was what I had to do. So mentally, I'm going to tell y'all, when I looked at certain foods, I was like, heck no, me no want it. Me no want it, because it's not doing me any good. It's taking me backwards. So that is how you actually move forward. You got to get totally disgusted with the stuff that's holding you back, that's keeping that weight on you. And when I say weight, I'm talking about weight as in heaviness, as in body fat, and weight as in things that are just holding you down. Like, you got to get rid of that stuff. It's not healthy for you. So that's it. Good night.